following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Oh, we're so happy, Billy. All of us loving each other. Billy! Told me I couldn't fly. Oh, that's what happened. That's when it got dark. It's so dark. Black. Brown. Gray. Everything's coming at me. Everything is coming at me. Stop! Stop! It's inside my head. Music is inside of my head. My mind. It wasn't so angry. So dark. Oh. Oh, I wish the colors would come back. Oh, please, God, let the colors come back.
That ain't just a bad trip, Father. She's out of it. I mean, she's gone.
I can't see. I can't see anything at all.
Well,
I think she's very good.
if you're looking for someone different, I think she could be it.
Not too sure how she'll come off on film, though.
Why don't we test her?
I'm all for it.
Oh, you're a hard man to convince, Kevin. Well, that's her biggest scene, so we can leave now if you'd like.
Excuse me.
Veronica!
Hi!
Oh, hello. I didn't know you patronized little theaters.
Oh, I usually don't, but I heard about this incredible girl. Kevin, if you're interested in signing her, you better do it fast. Because after my column tomorrow, every producer in town is going to want her.
Well, for a change, our tastes agree.
Kevin's going to test her.
For a role in Odyssey?
Possibly.
I read your script.
How did you get a hold of a copy?
I hated it. And listen, for the life of me, I'll never understand why you want to make films on subjects like that.
I think you're absolutely right, Veronica. You never will understand. Maybe it's the generation gap. Good night.
Oh,
He has no respect for the power of the press, has he?
no, he certainly does not. That's something I'm going to have to teach him.
What you like best about the Kevin Grant script?
Oh, the fact that I've got a good part in it.
Okay, that's very funny. However, Odyssey is about men and motorcycles. Now, how many of you think it's the now thing? Suppose you tell us what you think, Terry.
I think the theme of the picture has a kind of timeless quality.
Right. You know, there have always been men who needed to challenge the world they lived in. From King Arthur's court to the Japanese samurai, right down to our own westerns. And the heroes have always been loners. They've all had to do their own thing. But we don't travel by horseback anymore, so our rebels have wheels. And in Odyssey, they have bikes. Well, Terry, does that open things up for you?
Wouldn't the girl who was in love with a man like that be fighting conformity, too?
Well, you tested and got the part. What do you think?
Well, I was just wondering about my part, because it seems to me the way
Where's the
he's
girl with
written...
the unpronounceable
Oh,
name?
Artie, now, come on.
Well, I know it sounds a little like I play for Notre Dame, but at least the Teresa identifies me as female.
Yes, well, we've got that going for us. Now we'll have to do something about Sandowski.
Don't do it, Terry. With a name that long, you'd be the only one on the marquee.
In that case, change it immediately.
How about Terry with Thomas?
No. That's the English comedian with the split in his teeth.
Well, there's already a Teresa Wright. What about Teresa Wrong?
Well, your humor is devastating and very unhelpful.
You mean you're serious? I thought changing names went out with double-breasted suits. Oh, yeah, right. They're back, aren't they?
Yes, they're back, and I'm wearing them. And who can pronounce Sandowski?
Well, who cares who can pronounce it, as long as they remember it?
People can't remember names they can't say.
Well, I'm sorry. It's mine, and I'm proud of it. And I won't change it.
Terry, how about dropping the Sandowski and just using Teresa?
That's a terrific idea, Laura. Yes, there hasn't been a one-name star since Serena. I can get a lot of space with that.
Yeah, and I can get my name on the marquee.
Well, Terry? It is distinctive.
At least it's a half-truth.
Okay. Then the single name, Teresa. That's done. All right, now I want you to come with me and we'll get some biographical data.
Not on class time.
But Laura, this is very important. She's got a first interview tomorrow, and I don't know anything about her.
Lunch, dinner, not class time.
Who's the interview with?
Veronica Steele.
I've never read her.
She writes a column that has a circulation in the millions.
She can make you or break you. I thought today that was a matter of talent.
Oh, that it were.
Laura, you're going to have to see her through tomorrow's session with Veronica. I'm going to be tied up, and I don't want her there alone. Terry, lunch today at 12:30?
1 o'clock.
The only dictator on the lot outside of Bracken. 1 o'clock.
Now, 5, I want you to take all that fancy garbage off the bikes. Choppers are stripped down, honed-up weapons. And there's one other thing. Oh, hi, come in. Yeah, could you call Wardrobe and tell them that outlaw riders do not wear crash helmets? All right, stay on top of it for me, Frank. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good afternoon.
Most movies about bikes are based on other movies about bikes. Carbon copies.
Well, I spent a lot of time with some riders before I started in the script.
How much time did you spend with the girls?
Now, that sounds like you've got something on your mind. What is it?
The last scene is bothering me. It's not the words that are wrong, it's the attitudes.
Let's take a look.
You've got this girl hanging on to a guy who's already told her that he's going to be moving on. Now, one of the things she likes most about him is that he's free. She wouldn't take that away from him.
Well, I agree, but things have changed now, haven't they? And she's found out that she's pregnant. You really think the guy would leave once he knew that?
I don't think she'd tell him.
All right, what would she do?
I think she'd just have the baby. There's a new lifestyle today. Not everybody's looking for a rose-covered cottage. They've seen the marriages that stay together because of a bank account or because of a baby, and they don't want that anymore.
Well, one thing for sure, you don't go for happy endings, do you?
Well, there's nothing sad about it unless she's sad, and she knows it wouldn't work any other way. Maybe they'll get back together again someday, but they just wouldn't make it together if he felt trapped.
That sounds interesting. I do believe you might be able to convince me. Mitch, could you make us a pot of coffee, please? Yeah, thank you very much. All right, let's dig into it.
When did you first know that you wanted to be an actress?
When I was 6. Up until then, I could never memorize anything. And then I was in the first-grade Christmas play. I was having so much fun, I memorized all the lines, and I wouldn't let anybody else talk. My brother said I was best as the old man.
You know, I don't often meet a dedicated actress with a sense of humor. Usually they're so intense, it's frightening, or else they're just plain dull. Not you.
Well, I don't know about that. Thank you. Frankly, I'm more concerned about what I'm like on screen than off. Because I really want to be a good actress.
Oh, darling, you can be much more than that. If I put my name and my column behind you. Teresa, if you put yourself in my hands, you can find yourself a star overnight.
Hello, Veronica.
Hello, Laura.
sorry I'm late. I got hung up in traffic.
Laura believes that an actor shouldn't get too far too fast. And I agree with her. I'm not impatient.
Would you like a Bloody Mary?
Love it.
Okay. Frankly, I'm surprised that a little girl with your drive on stage should have so little off.
Oh, I have plenty of drive. I just don't care about being a star. I care about being an actress. Maybe the best actress in the world. And that doesn't happen overnight. But it lasts longer.
Well, that's a very interesting point of view.
Thanks.
I have only heard that from every actress I've interviewed for the last 5 years. It's a defense, dear. It's a defense against failure, just in case you don't make it. The world is on notice that you didn't really want to make it anyway.
I don't suppose it would do any good to tell you that you're wrong.
Let me try and get something for my column. I don't like to see an interview dissolve into a chat. Now, the other night in the play, you were terribly convincing. Have you ever tried acid?
All good acting isn't a result of personal experiences. You ought to know that, Veronica. You were an actress.
Correction. I tried it once. And failed. About experimenting with acid. Have you?
That's not one of my hang-ups. The drug scene, it's a crutch like alcohol. You float in an unreal world and everything's neato. But as soon as you come to, nothing's changed. I turn on to other things, people mostly.
People like Mr. Grant?
Oh, he's out of sight. He gives, you know?
Yeah?
And you give back and things really happen. Like last night, we were working on the part. And, well, anyway, we started to turn each other on. And before we knew it, I had missed my date, and he'd missed his dinner.
You know, it's just marvelous how much time and advice Kevin is willing to give young actors.
What do you think about the current emphasis on nudity, on sex in film?
I think it's probably more fun to do than it is to watch.
You know, oh, Terry, you know, half the time we don't know if you're for real or putting us on.
I take it then that you subscribe to the new morality in life as well as in film.
Well, I think that films are going the way that life really is. I mean, it's much more immoral to sustain a myth than it is to present the truth. I mean, that's the kind of immorality I'm against.
What myth? What myth do you have in mind?
Most of the worn-out traditions that exist in this world.
That's interesting. For example, in the play, you have the role of the mistress. Which would you rather be? A man's wife or his mistress?
You know, Terry, there are some opinions that you're entitled to keep to yourself.
Oh, I don't mind answering. His mistress. That implies choice. A man has currently chosen you. Marriage sometimes seems to be the thing that finishes a relationship.
Oh, do you want to abolish marriage?
Oh, no, I'm sure it's necessary for some people. I'd just like to change the ground rules a little. Oh, I hope my mother doesn't read this. But I don't see what's so important about a piece of paper. I mean, it's impractical to promise your whole life to somebody. I think that the promise should be, till loss of love do us part.
Well, this has been a very fascinating interview. It should make a very interesting column. Teresa, I wish you all the success that you deserve. And thank you very, very much for coming.
Thanks for the drink, Veronica.
You're welcome. Her name is Teresa. That's right, just Teresa. It used to be Teresa Sandowski, but she's dropped the surname, whether for ethnic reasons or reasons of pronunciation she didn't explain. She is Century Studios' newest pactee in the that's where it's at style of acting. Not given to subtleties, she espouses the cliches of the new morality with the zeal of an evangelist. Teresa on marriage, quote, impractical, the thing that finishes a relationship. Teresa on the current cycle of sex films, quote, I think it's probably more fun to do than to watch. There was a time when Hollywood contracts came equipped with morals clauses. But that time is passé. I suppose we must accept that the new morality is a part of life for 22-year-old Teresa. However, it does seem odd that a man of Kevin Grant's stature should stay up half the night discussing it with...
Say you're going to marry me. Say yes. Say yes.
Laura, you know that Veronica distorts everything. Now, why didn't you change the subject?
I tried.
Then why didn't you shut Teresa up?
Oh, there's no way unless I put a gag in her mouth. Now, look, Kevin. I disagreed with a lot of things Teresa said, but the girl is certainly entitled to her own opinion.
All right. You just don't understand Veronica's switch. What happened that turned her off? Up until now, she was all for Teresa.
Well, I walked in late, just as Veronica was promising Teresa overnight stardom, if she'd put herself in Veronica's hands.
They're putting me on.
All of these are for salads. Oh, except for the grapefruit, of course, which is for breakfast. I plan to be the only apartment dweller in history to live off the land.
But you also plan to be the only apartment dweller in history who lives to the age of 104? That's how long it's going to take that twig to bear fruit.
Listen, if you think I'm optimistic about that, you ought to see my coffee plant. It hasn't even sprouted yet, and I already have my coffee grinder. I wanted to plant spinach, but then I found out I needed a hill.
A hill? Yeah, how big a hill?
Well, all the package said was build a hill. It didn't say how big a hill.
Do you happen to be a vegetarian?
Why do you ask that?
Well, I see a lot of vegetables, but not much livestock.
There's more clauses in my lease than there are in my contract.
Which reminds me, this is, after all, not a social call. Here's the rewrite on the last scene. You will note, having used most of your suggestions, that you don't say much anymore.
Oh, that's okay. At times, there's just not much to say.
True. Very, very true. Hey, I like those glasses. I'd like to have you use them in a picture.
Whatever you say. Do I have a choice?
You do.
It's my one vanity. I'd rather not.
I thought you said she wasn't going to be sad.
I didn't think she would be. But then you made him leave that medallion behind. Sort of an omen, isn't it? I don't think I'll probably cry when I do it.
No, you probably won't. But everybody in the audience probably will. And I think that's probably a very good thing. She's some kind of a nut. She has to be. The place you could strangle yourself on the vines. It's like a jungle. Next thing you know, she's going to be making her own wine. But man, can she act. She was all curled up on the sofa, looking very, very young and very, very vulnerable. Reading the scene. Not out loud, just sitting there reading the scene. And it was all there. Everything, every feeling, every thought I had written was on her face. It was like watching a kaleidoscope.
I can see where that would be a terrible thing. I don't want everybody to know what's going on in my head.
That's why she is an actress. She's perceptive, too. Knew how the script had to end before I did.
Well, just so you don't take any more lessons in morality.
Hey, babe. Forget about Veronica Steele.
And her column and her opinions and her need to chop people up. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And now, before you distract me, I have to go to work.
To please Teresa.
No, to please myself.
Well, wouldn't it be better if you got a fresh start in the morning?
Maybe. But I have to work on the scene now, while it's still all very fresh in my mind.
Hey. It'd be terrific if you could wait up for about a half an hour.
From the neck up, you're swinging. From the neck down, you're the Late Show.
From the mouth up, you're blunt.
I just want to try to sell you some clothes, too.
Look, when I came in for a new hairdo, I didn't expect to spring for a whole new wardrobe.
I got to do it, Marjorie. I need the bread.
Oh,
Gracie will take care of you in the boutique.
thank you very much, Jack.
Gracie, don't let Mrs. Grant out of here with anything that came in before this week.
Hello, Veronica. Jeff. Would you be interested in knowing that Mrs. Kevin Grant was just in for a whole new look? He's going to try to make it in the youth scene. Just keep the plugs coming, honey.
How'd you like it?
Oh, I think I could have done without the finale.
Oh, boy, here comes trouble.
Well, what are you trying to do, Tom?
Look, man, I told you I wanted you to ride to get used to each other on a bike. But safely, not out here on the beach in the sand. Now, you want to get crippled or killed, that's your business. But you've got no right to put anybody else in that position. Somehow I thought you had more sense than that, Terry.
Well, I trust Tom. He didn't do anything dangerous.
Look, do you know what your chances would be if you got into an accident on a bike? I can give you some statistics if you'd like. There's going to be no argument about this. If you can't be sensible about where you're going to ride and how you're going to ride, you don't ride. I'll drive you home myself.
Okay, Mr. Grant. I take direction very well. But I'm glad I came out this way. It's a groovy way to move.
I think he's got the right idea. Come on, I'll drive you home.
What about my motorcycle?
Leave it here. You won't be needing it. You're grounded as of now.
There's no clause in my contract that says the front office can tell me what I do on my own time, David. You can tell me what movies I'm going to be in, what to wear, how many times to go to the barber shop. But there are a few things left that I'm going to decide for myself. When and where I ride my motorcycle is one of them.
You're in the papers again. What happened Sunday?
Oh, well, I was here Sunday.
Not all day.
Marjorie, I haven't even had my coffee yet. And suddenly I'm facing the Spanish Inquisition.
It's no inquisition. I just want to hear your version of what happened while you were out.
What happened? Nothing happened.
He is Bracken's brightest producer-director who has been drawing nightly inspiration for his latest flick from his newest discovery. She is an unknown quantity who has been dating a handsome young actor while her friend toiled at the typewriter rewriting her a better part. They, the young romancers, ran into him unexpectedly at a beach party,
Whom did she go home with? The producer, of course.
Veronica Steele. Of course. Lady could take anything and make it sound dirty. Good morning. Is the great guru receiving?
Trouble on the picture?
Not the picture. The press.
By a curious coincidence, Veronica Steele is in there with him right now.
Getting herself banned from the lot, I trust.
That's the first time I've ever heard you sound the faintest bit naive, Kevin. He's briefing her on new product.
And I thought that he might be on my side.
Mr. Bracken is on the studio side. Veronica Steele reaches a lot of people, Kevin. And people buy tickets. Besides, she could be banned from every lot in town, and she'd still get her stories.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
You know, I thought for a long time that you were without ethics, and now I know.
Why? Whatever do you mean?
The lead item in this morning's column?
Which says he is Bracken's brightest producer-director, Kevin. Whatever made you think you were Bracken's brightest producer-director?
Very good. Now, Laura was right. That lady is a barracuda.
All right, keep trying every 20 minutes and call me. Thank you. That must be the 25th time I've called Tom since yesterday. I can't imagine what's happened to him. Oh, Terry, I'm so sorry. Go on, what were you saying?
I was saying that this is so unfair to everybody. What about Mrs. Grant? What must she be thinking? Why should Kevin have to keep explaining that it isn't true? Why should I? Why doesn't everybody get together and boycott Veronica Steele?
Because nobody ever got into this business to remain anonymous, Terry. Not even you. Oh, there are hundreds of little theaters all over this country that you could be acting in, anonymously. But you chose to come here. You chose to get into the movies. And you were looking to make Teresa Zandowski a name to be reckoned with. Now, whether you knew it or not, this is part of that process.
So we create our own monsters.
Yes. And hundreds of public relations firms that are hired by actors and writers and directors and producers, all to feed those monsters. Oh, it's not enough to know that you're good. You've got to be told. And you've got to be told in print.
I really thought if you were good, it would all just happen. I don't know. There's something awfully unreal about this whole thing.
Well, why not? We're in the business of make-believe, Terry. But that looks frighteningly real to me. Well, now I know why you didn't show up yesterday.
Look, Laura, don't yell at me, please. Just don't yell at me.
How did it happen, Tom?
I got so bugged at Davy on Sunday that I drove my motorcycle right off the road. I'm really thankful that you weren't with me.
How bad is it?
Well, it's going to be fine, but I'll be wearing this rig 6 weeks, maybe more.
What's going to happen about the picture?
I guess you'll be working with somebody else.
But couldn't it be postponed?
Oh, yes, if Tom were Paul Newman, but he isn't Paul Newman. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry for you, but I'm also very sorry for Kevin.
Well, you know, for the first time, I've got to admit that the front office was right. Hey, do I show up at Kevin's, or will I embarrass everyone?
Oh, come on, Tom. Kevin may be angry, but he's not vindictive.
Good. Well, back to wardrobe. I hope you know how to tie a black tie.
Oh, you don't have to wear a tie. Kevin's just running a film. And besides, it's going to be one of those casual Hollywood parties where half the guests have gone out and spent $500 on an outfit that matches their sneakers.
How long did the doctor say you're going to be in the cast?
About as long as I want.
Who takes care of you at home?
Are you volunteering?
Don't you ever drink it out?
No.
That's right, I forgot. Your generation gets its kicks from pot.
No, I never felt the need for that either.
I don't suppose you would. You get high on life itself. You, sir, on the other hand, are an entirely different matter. Can I freshen your drink?
No, thank you, Kevin.
You can fix one for me.
Why don't we go find Roger?
Well, if he won't fix it.
Take it easy tonight, huh?
On this particular evening, I wish to feel no pain.
Out of his mind inviting her here?
From the look on Marjorie's face, he didn't.
Hello, Marjorie. Hello, Veronica. Good to see you, Charlie. Glad you could stop by. What would you two like to drink?
Mitch, has the projectionist arrived yet? I'd like to get started with the film.
No, he hasn't. I just... Hey, look what the cat just dragged in.
And look who's just going to be thrown right back out.
Kevin, look who she's with.
Charlie Ainsworth. Kevin, Mitch is right. It's not politic to throw out our... Well, let me see if I can get the title right. Our East Coast Vice President in charge of advertising and publicity.
Oh, what kind of idiot would bring that woman into my house?
Well, it's clear that the East Coast knows not what the West Coast doeth. I'm sorry, Kevin. I can't stay with her here. I'm going home.
Now, hey, come on, take it easy. I don't like it any more than you do. But if you leave right now, she's going to make a great big thing about that. A movie takes an hour and a half to show, and you can eat your chili on the other side of the room and then go home. Besides, with a little luck, she'll hate the film and go home early. All right?
It's awfully hard to compete with youth and talent, isn't it?
Yeah, she's got a special kind of sex appeal. I don't know if the kids are going to go for her, but anybody over 30, she's got it made.
Oh, terrific.
What's she wearing Kevin's shoes? I can't wait to direct.
You just started acting, Roger.
I mean, there's got to be a special rapport between an actress and a director.
Out of the mouths of babes.
Oh, your husband's a superb host. He has them all enchanted, hasn't he? And it seems that he has this special knack with young actresses. It's very special.
I know you don't like the idea of wearing glasses in the last scene, but I really think it would add something. Why don't you try it?
Anything for you, sir.
You're a good girl.
I hate parties. Especially this one.
Marjorie, let's get some food.
Why don't you go eat? You're the one that has to keep up the strength for the younger generation. That's your trouble, Kevin. You should have been born a few years later when they didn't believe in marriage and families.
Marjorie, keep your voice down.
This isn't the set, Kevin. This is what we laughingly call our home. And you can't be the director here because you're never here long enough. Where are you when you aren't home?
Come on, let's get some coffee.
You don't have to answer me. I bet you could tell me. I'll get some coffee. Listen, tell me what anything means. I mean, you did just say you would do anything for him. Does that mean literally anything?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, come on, I think you do. I mean, really, I'm fascinated by your new morality. Isn't that where nothing matters except the two people who really turn each other on?
No,
Oh, isn't that where it's at?
No, I never said
You don't know what you're saying.
Oh, yes, I do know what I say. I mean, what's so different about it? We used to call it the old immorality.
You're drunk.
Every time I say something, you don't like I'm drunk. I'm not drunk, Kevin. I'm angry. What I say, I mean, what's so different? We used to call
I
it the
told
old
you,
immorality.
Charlie, in Hollywood, some of the biggest scenes never get on the screen.
Young girls today, they don't give a damn about anybody. Or anybody's wife. Tom, I'll take care of it. Terry, come on. It's all right.
It's not. It's not. It's ugly and it's not fair, and I don't think I can ever face Kevin again.
Oh, it's not ugly because it's not true. You know it, and Kevin knows it. And you'll be able to face him just fine tomorrow. I don't think you're in any shape to drive. And I'd just as soon you aren't alone tonight, so why don't you come on home with me? Come on.
How far are we supposed to... Something good. Feel something.
How do I get a taxi?
Mitch, this is an emergency. I have to talk to him. Listen, Kevin.
Yeah. Marjorie, I love you.
I'm glad you said that. I feel the same way. I wish last night hadn't happened. Listen, Kevin, there's something in Veronica's column today I think you should know. It's about Teresa, and I think it's important. Geometric progression is the headline. And then she goes on. When does a triangle become a quadrangle? When the very much publicized young actress, a bone of contention between her producer and her leading man, left both gentlemen flat to go off with her discoverer. Also, they're somewhat more mature. A lady.
And thank you for calling, Marge. I'll talk to you later, love.
Bye-bye, darling.
Mitch, call legal. Tell them I've got some business for them. Is Miss Steele in?
In here. Oh, I've been expecting to hear from you, Kevin, but not in person.
Well, I couldn't resist the opportunity to inform you in person of the ultimate in geometric progressions. From a 10-cent newspaper to $1 million libel suit.
I've been attacked by experts, Kevin, and I always win because I always work with the facts.
Facts, but not truth.
Wasn't it Oliver Wendell Holmes who said, I promise you law, not justice?
Wasn't it Justice Brandeis who defined privacy as the right to be let alone?
People in your business have no right to privacy. They belong to the public. Anyway, Kevin, do you really want obscurity?
What I want is to stop the sick, vicious scandal-mongering that seems to be your specialty.
I give my readers exactly what they expect. Titillating tidbits, guessing games. The public likes its idols to have feet of clay.
Well, you're not likely to be giving it to them very much longer. Century's legal staff is with your publisher right now. There is one way for him to avoid this lawsuit. And that is to terminate your contract. We're making quite sure that he's aware of that.
What are you trying to do, Kevin? Destroy the freedom of the press?
No, just keep it honest.
You really want a trial, Kevin? Are you looking forward to the unpleasantness that could come out? Do you think that Marjorie could take it?
She's not very stable, is she?
How stable are you? Now, it's not exactly a secret in this industry that you had a nervous breakdown when the studio failed to pick up your option as an actress.
Well, that's, hardly relevant. Evan.
Oh, what makes it relevant is motivation. Why you destroyed people. You're a thwarted human being, Veronica, trying to reduce any kind of talent at all to your own level.
Nobody's going to believe that. I deny it, and I will always have the last word in my column.
Oh, but it's fact. And it also happens to be truth. And speaking of truth, I've been doing some research on the kind of actress that you've been putting down all these years. And it's always the young ones. The independent young ones who wouldn't go your way.
Oh, come on, Kevin. I've been accused of a lot of things.
Have you ever been accused of murder? I found Terry unconscious. There was an open bottle of pills.
Oh, my. How is she?
Critical. If she dies, you'll be directly responsible.
Don't be so melodramatic.
You wanted her to kneel at your feet in adoration, and when she wouldn't, you set out to destroy her. I was in this room when she decided that she didn't want a sponsor. And from that moment on, you never let up on her.
And you didn't care how many innocent people you hurt on the way.
Innocent. Innocent. You know, there are some people who might say Marjorie was responsible. There are some people who might say you are, Laura. Yes, after all, she didn't wind up under my wing, Laura. She wound up under yours.
Come on, let's go.
Teresa Sandowski. Teresa Sandowski. Teresa Sandowski. There are friends of yours here. Friends who want to talk to you. Can you hear me, Terry? Mr. Grant?
Terry? Terry, we've been rapping at you for a long time now. Taking turns trying to get you to open up your eyes. Aren't you the little girl that's supposed to be so good at taking direction? Well, this is Kevin. This is your director talking to you. Wake up, Terry. Terry, wake up.
How is she?
There's no change.
Terry, listen to me. Open up your eyes. Come on. Can you hear me? Huh? Well, look, if you think that this craziness is going to get you out of my picture, well, forget it. Because I'm not going to quit, Terry. I'm going to keep after you 24 hours a day. I'm going to hound you until you're on your feet and in front of the camera again. In front of my camera. Open and free and totally honest. Because you're going to star in my picture, Terry. And you're going to be brilliant.
Laura, how's Teresa?
She's going to live. Beyond that, I can't tell you. All right. Let's talk about it. I don't think there's anybody here who hasn't either read or heard about that insidious article in Veronica Steele's column. So there's no point in pretending that we haven't. If it were true, it would be none of your business. None of anybody's business. The fact that you all know me as well as you do, you ought to know it isn't true. Of course, that will all come out in court. Kevin Grant and I are seeing to that. I'd just like to make one more comment. The purpose of our business is dealt with right here in this classroom or in front of that camera. All the rest is dressing. Some of that dressing is ugly. I just hope that nothing that's happened in the last few days will hurt your dedication to what we do here. Friday, we were starting some exercises in pantomime. Rachel, Diane, front and center. Brandy, Roger. Ingrid, Tom. Tom, let's see what you can do with one arm.